With the cracks in the PDP widening by the day, with its most crucial office, the office of the National Secretary, entangled in fierce legal battle, the political uncertainty hovering on the party's road to regain power leaves a landmine that could only be navigated by a clear political consensus, respect for party supremacy, and zoning structure. Now, I'm delighted to have the PDP former national chairman and former governor of Enugu State, Okwesilieze Nwodo. He joins us on Arise Prime Time. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
Let me start this way. You advised your party, the PDP, to adhere strictly to internal democracy to regain public trust ahead of 2027 and to play the role of main opposition party and keep APC on its toes. That implies that are not playing that role. And how far with the advice you gave the party?
I think we are playing that role.
Are you?
We are indeed. You know, in a political party and in many other organizations, there will be a mainstream and there will be other people for their own selfish interests are not going along the mainstream. Majority of our members and majority of our leaders will want our party to come back strong. And the only way we can come back strong is if we are united, if we work with our constitution and the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and seem to be a responsible political party that can once more get back into power and give Nigerians the kind of governance we gave them for 16 years before things started to fall apart.
That is referring to Sino Achebe's book, Things Fall Apart. All right, but have they adhered to, and apparently they have not adhered to the internal democracy advice you gave them, have they?
Well, for every National Working Committee, the extent to which they apply internal democracy will indeed translate to the fortunes of the party. I have been one of the greatest advocates of internal democracy in PDP. And I know that when I was National Secretary, the primary we had in Jos for choosing a presidential candidate, all the candidates agreed with the results at the venue and congratulated Olusegun Obasanjo. And all of them, without exception, joined the presidential campaign, and we won our victory massively. I also know that when I became national chairman, I also pursued internal democracy, level playing ground, with all the vigor that I had in me. And I know that in the history of PDP, not as many candidates as we had that time had ever contested the election under PDP, because they saw the level playing ground. They saw that they could go to primary, and the members of the party who knew them very intimately will vote for them to carry the party's flag. And indeed, the money that we raised in selling of nomination forms at that time, that record has not been beaten. So there is something about internal democracy. And I believe seriously that no party that does not practice internal democracy can give democracy when they win the election. Charity begins at home.
At home. You're correct about that. Now, the National Secretary of the APC was here, Jibola Bashiru, yesterday. He said, if the PDP cannot put its home in order, all well and good. It's working well for APC. Now, but that's expected. I mean, he's your competitor. But then you and another former chairman, Secondus, you made the statement. You said FG should allow the opposition to breathe And I'm thinking when I was reading it, isn't that a shame when you, former chairman, and the other former, say APC, another party, should allow your party to breathe? I would think that's more like a shame.
On the contrary.
Okay, let's hear you out.
The shame should be to APC. You know, we should play this game fairly, okay? They should mind their goalposts. We'll mind our goalposts.
Is PDP minding its goalposts?
We are minding our goalposts, doing everything humanly possible to make sure they don't score, from offsides.
That's a good one.
So, and I think they should be fair. APC is using a lot of strategy. Fair to them, if they think that is fair, using some of our members to make sure that they scuttle the peace and unity that we need in order to create a formidable party.
But in the Igbo parlance, there's this proverb. It is the rat in the house that tells the one outside that there's fish
inside the kitchen. So, and that is a very dangerous game. When your own person who knows your game is fighting you. So that has not augured well, because in every democracy anywhere in the world, that democracy is thriving, you have the party in government and you have solid opposition. And look at the United States, for example. Look at Britain. Every election is contested with everything that each party can offer to the citizens. And you find that they are neck to neck all the time. And this party is in government for 4 to 8 years. The other party is in government for 4 to 8 years. Because as soon as you are not offering the people what you promised them, the chances are that you will lose the next election to the other opposition party. But APC, in my view, is trying to create a one-party scenario in Nigeria. It's not only PDP that is complaining.
Oh, well.
The Labour Party is complaining, SDP is complaining, everybody's complaining. If they think that that is the right way to win the next election, they are not being fair to Nigerians. Nigerians should have options.
That's why we need PDP to wake up.
That's why we're trying to wake up.
But you scheduled a disciplinary committee meeting headed by Tommy Kimi. It didn't hold. It's been postponed for 2 weeks.
Well, it's not the fault of the disciplinary committee.
But the dramatists personnel.
The dramatists personnel.
Anyanwu and Udoko.
Anyanwu did not present himself. He said he had a doctor's appointment. And you cannot force a sick man to come and be answering questions in a disciplinary committee. Give him fair chance to be healthy and come and answer the questions. It's not been ambushed. Unfortunately, the people who petitioned against the former governor of Benue State, Otom, did not show up to defend their petition.
He's asking for an apology.
Sorry?
He's asking for an apology from PDP.
Yes, it's indeed.
Because he says they didn't give him notify him first before they went public with that.
And also, some of his supporters are even saying that those who petitioned against him are not members of the party. So I think the disciplinary committee did the right thing. Let's give another date and let's put our house in order. Make sure everybody has a fair hearing.
Fair hearing. There's also talk that what's your stand? I mean, some are saying that the problem in the PDP now is because of Wike. Some say no, it's South-South problem. So which one is it? And where does the party stand on the South-South issue and maybe coalition?
What is the problem with the South-South?
That the South-South is supposed to produce the next president, be the next candidate for presidency in your party. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
No, we don't have any agreement on that. You know, what normally happens in PDP is that we zone our offices. Our constitution says zoning and rotation. Okay? So we zone the presidency between the north and the south. And after Obasanjo, we zoned it to the north. And unfortunately, Yar'Adua did not stay for long and passed on. Because Jonathan finished his tenure. And so we went back to the drawing table and said, this time now, last time it was Obasanjo. This time, Jonathan and Yar'Adua. But because Yar'Adua didn't finish his tenure, next time we zone it to the north. And we did. And when we went to Port Harcourt, where we had our convention, all the candidates were from the north, no candidate from the south. And then Atiku emerged at that primary. So we always have this tradition. And again, as much as possible, except when there's an overlap, we always want our president and our party chairman to come from the opposite side of the country.
That's where the issue is, because Iyorchia Ayu and Atiku was contesting for presidency, and Iyorchia from the north was the chairman.
Yeah, that's when I say when there is overlap. Now, the tenure of Ayu as national chairman dovetailed into the election for the president. And again, because we did not zone the presidency on time, and people had purchased forms and were in the field, the party in its wisdom decided to throw the ticket open. And in that contest, both the North and the South contested. And again, Atiku got the ticket. So it was not like we knew that the presidency would be zoned to the North, and then we, at the same time, zoned the chairmanship to the North. No, that was not the issue. So, and to be honest with you, if the ticket was not thrown open, many of us were extremely strong in trying to convince the party that we can't have Buhari for 8 years and still pick a candidate from the north, that by our zoning system, it should go to the south. But as I said, since we didn't do the zoning on time and people from all parts of the country had purchased tickets, we said, okay, go to the primary. So when Atiku won, what will not naturally happen in PDP is we wait for the election, because we don't have a sitting president. We just have somebody contesting for the presidency. And since he didn't, we are saying now that the chairmanship must complete its tenure in the Middle Belt where it was zoned, where you took it from. So they have a 4-year tenure in our executive.
But eventually he was removed, or he stepped down.
Well, he stepped out. And having done so, somebody from his zone should step in. It's just the same thing that happened when I became national chairman. Vincent Obulafo stepped out, and Southeast fielded me to complete his tenure. So that is the tradition of the party.
Okay.
The 4-year tenure has to be completed.
So what are you looking at, 2027, south or north or open?
Well, we haven't done the zoning, but I can tell you personally, I will advocate when we get to that point, that the South must complete its own 8 years of presidency, like Buhari did. So whether it's going to be Tinubu or it's going to be somebody else from the South should be allowed to do 8 years. And I'll campaign for that.
No, I'm talking about PDP.
Yes, and PDP.
No, because you called Tinubu.
Yeah, Tinubu is from the South.
Yeah.
If he does 4 years, the presidency should reside in the South for another 4 years.
Oh, but if he does 8 years, then PDP will probably you will probably canvass for the North.
No. That as the presidency rotates between the North and the South for 8 years. Now the presidency is domiciled in the South, and Tinubu is enjoying the first 4 years of that 8 years. So I will advise PDP to take a candidate from the South to run against Tinubu, so that at least we make sure that Southern Nigeria completes 8 years of presidency.
Okay. I don't know whether we have all the time. I don't know. Igbo leaders from the East, how are they trying to manage the conundrum with Nnamdi Kanu being caught? How are they trying to manage it, both the governors and the leaders there?
Well, you know, the position of the leadership and the followership in the Southeast with regards to Nnamdi Kanu has never changed. We have always advocated that his problem requires a political solution. That means government should wade in and deal with this matter.
But the man in question, is he making it easy? Because, I mean, listening to his talk the other day on the net, I didn't think he was making a good case for himself.
Well, I think he was making a case of somebody who had reached the end of the road. He's been tried in High Court, Appeal Court, Supreme Court, coming back again, going forth, not being sure that the judge, you know, that's advocating over his matter is fair to him. And all of this, when you put it side by side with other people who are advocating for their people to have self-sufficiency or self-governance in Nigeria, you get the impression that he's not being treated on the same platform as others. Those who are agitating for Duduwa State, and he is advocating for Biafra. And that makes us in the Southeast feel that this is another demonstration of marginalization of our people, that we're not being treated the same as others. And we also have a lot of reasons why we advocate that he should be released. Number one, a lot of crime in the Southeast, the young people say they're advocating for his release. And that's why they attack police, they kill people, they go to burial ceremonies, they shoot people.
Do you think that's a good reason for that?
It is not a good reason, but that reason can be removed if he's brought out of
so I'm blaming the East, the governors in the East of not taking security seriously, since they even called the...
No, I think
they are the, what are they called again? The chief security officers of their state.
Yeah, look, in my state, for example,
Enugu State.
Enugu State, Governor Peter Mba has brought modern technology into security. He's built the first, what does he call it now? It's a control center from where you can view the entire state.
I heard that today on the live they were doing. Yeah,
very good. And if there's a crime in Enugu State today, in 5 minutes the police will be there. 5 minutes maximum.
And this is happening in Enugu.
This is happening right now. Now, if you go to Anambra, the governor has just rolled out a wonderful program for security in his place. And the criminals are on the run, because every village has a vigilante group and they're fishing them out. So I don't think the governors in the Southeast, you can say they're not doing well. What is important when we talk about Nnamdi Kanu is that people are using him as an excuse to commit crime. That can be wiped out. Two, is affecting the economy of our zone. These same people who are protesting about his incarceration make sure that every Monday people are terrorized from coming out to do their business, and that people earn their living on a daily basis when they go out. You know?
I'm going to have to stop it there. That's the time we have. Former chairman of the PDP and former governor of Enugu State, thank you for being here.
God bless
on
you.
Arise Primetime. Bless
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
All right. Well, that's it for this edition of Arise Primetime. Do join us again tomorrow for me and the entire team here in Abuja. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.